What innocent childhood game did you later realize was actually dangerous? We called it bridge running, and every kid in our neighborhood was obsessed with it. The rules were simple. Start at one end of the old railroad bridge behind the Kroger, run across before a train came, make it to the other side. Winner got bragging rights for the whole week. Loser had to do something embarrassing like wear their shirt inside out to school or eat a bug. We were 10, 11 years old, thought we were invincible. The bridge was maybe 200 feet long, stretched over Mill Creek River about 30 feet below. The rails were still active, but trains only came through 3 or 4 times a day. We had it all figured out, or so we thought. Put your ear to the track, feel for vibrations, listen for the horn in the distance. We gave ourselves what we thought was plenty of time. Tommy Delgado even had his older brother's watch that he'd stolen so he could time our runs. My best friend Jorge was the champion. Kid could sprint across in under 90 seconds wearing his beat-up Converse that had holes in both toes. He'd dance at the other end while the rest of us were still stumbling over the wooden ties. The gaps between them were just wide enough that you had to focus on every step, or you'd twist an ankle, or worse, fall through. I remember the smell of creosote from those railroad ties in the summer heat. Made your nose burn if you breathed too deep. The wood was worn smooth in some places, splintered and rough in others. Sometimes you'd see rust-colored stains that looked like old blood, but we told ourselves it was just iron from the rails. The scariest part was the middle section where some ties were loose. They'd shift when you stepped on them, made this creaking sound like the whole bridge might collapse, but that just made it more exciting. We were idiots who thought danger was just another word for fun. My little sister Rosa wanted to play so bad. She was only 8 but kept following us to the bridge, begging to try. We always said no, told her she was too small, too slow. Her legs weren't long enough to jump between the bad ties. She'd sit on the embankment and watch us, keeping score in her little pink notebook. Everything changed on a Saturday in October. The leaves were turning orange and yellow, making everything look like a postcard. Jorge, Tommy, me, and this new kid Elian were all lined up for a race. We checked for trains like always. Coast was clear. Tommy counted down from 3 and we took off. I was in the lead for once, really pushing myself. My lungs burned and my legs felt like rubber, but I was actually winning. That's when I heard it. Not a train horn, but Jorge screaming behind me. I turned around and saw Elian's foot had gone through one of the rotten ties. He was stuck up to his knee, crying and pulling at his leg. We all rushed back. Tommy grabbed one arm, Jorge grabbed the other, and I tried to lift his leg. That's when we heard it for real this time. The horn. Far away, but getting closer. You could feel it in the rails, that low vibration that made your teeth hurt. Elian started screaming. Not regular scared screaming, but that kind that comes from pure terror. We pulled harder, but his sneaker was wedged weird and his ankle was swelling fast. The horn sounded again, closer now, maybe 2 minutes away. Jorge was yelling at Elian to slip out of his shoe, but Elian was in full panic mode, just thrashing around, making it worse. I don't know what made me look back toward the start of the bridge, but when I did, I saw Rosa running toward us. My 8-year-old sister with her skinny legs and light-up Skechers, running straight into danger. I screamed at her to go back, but she kept coming. She reached us and without saying anything, pulled out her pink plastic scissors from her pocket, the ones she used for her craft projects. Cut the laces, she said, like it was obvious. Jorge grabbed the scissors and sawed through Elian's shoelaces while Tommy and I pulled. The train horn was so loud now we could see the headlight in the distance. With the laces cut, Elian's foot slipped out and we all ran. Ran like hell itself was chasing us. We made it to the other side just as the train thundered past. The conductor was laying on the horn, probably saw us diving off the tracks. We sat in the dirt, gasping, watching tons of metal scream by where we'd been standing 30 seconds earlier. Elian's ankle was purple and swollen to twice its size. He was crying, but alive. That was the last time any of us played bridge running. We never talked about it, never made an official decision to stop. We just knew. Rosa never asked to play again either. She went back to her dolls and books, and we found other ways to prove we were tough. Years later, I found out 3 kids had died on that bridge in the 1980s playing the exact same game. The city had been trying to get it demolished for decades, but railroad company kept fighting them in court. Last year, they finally tore it down. I drove by when they were doing it, watched the excavator tear through those old ties like they were matchsticks. All I could think about was Elian's foot going through and Rosa with her pink scissors. How close we came to being another tragedy in the local newspaper.